The best cheese for your health. Next on The Perfect Bite. Cheese lovers, behold, a good source of dairy, cheese is a must-have on sandwiches. But packed with calcium, protein, and fat, some cheeses are healthier than others. I'm ANDREA JENNA here with Christine, cheese master and co-owner of Cheese Boutique, and today we're going to determine the healthiest cheeses for you. So first of all, there is a wide selection when you go into a grocery store. So what would you say is a good cheese for a sandwich?
I think you want to have good slicing properties with a sandwich cheese. I think you want to have something that you can have kind of a nice thin slice so you can layer it in your sandwich as well. I think you want something with a little bit of flavor, a little bit of bite, and then to really complement the bread and everything else you're putting in the sandwich.
Okay, well what about a low-fat cheese?
The lower the fat, sometimes you take away a lot of the flavor of cheese, but that's really the talent of a good cheesemaker is to make a great tasting low-fat cheese, of which we have many here today.
Well, let's see about low-fat cheeses, their taste compared to other cheeses in our taste test. We're gonna be sampling the following different variety of cheeses: cheddar, brie, blue cheese, Swiss, Havarti, Gouda, and goat cheese. What would you say would be like the healthiest choice?
In terms of sodium content and milk fat content, the Swiss is going to be your best bet.
Okay.
But for someone who likes really rich, creamy cheeses, a low-fat brie, I think is a great alternative. And you can get a low-fat Havarti as well.
What would you say is probably the one to stay away from? If we had to stay away from a cheese, I know it's gonna be hard for you, but okay.
Which I think is okay with
Yeah,
your...
well, it's a rich cheese.
It's a rich cheese, but it's very, very salty as well.
Okay, so let's just do a quick rundown. If you're gonna try to keep in mind your sodium and you're trying to reduce your sodium intake, what would be a good cheese to go with?
Gouda and the Swiss.
Okay, and what about in terms of fat?
In terms of fat, the brie,
Okay.
surprisingly enough,
Yeah.
and the Swiss again.
And if you wanted to increase your calcium intake, what would
If
you
you
go
want cheddar.
Okay.
That big, bold, 6-month-old cheddar.
for? Perfect. All right, so Avram, what do you have first for us?
Okay, so I think first we're gonna start off with a classical cheddar. So this is about a 6-month-old cheddar, which is the age of which I think I'd want to be eating my cheddar in a sandwich. Any stronger would be just a little bit too much.
It's pretty strong to begin with.
And that's a medium cheddar.
Wow, rich.
Very rich,
Flavorful.
a little saltier, so the sodium's gonna be a little higher in a cheddar of this age. Typically, brie is 50 or 60% milk fat. I mean, it's one of the highest, fattiest cheeses.
Okay.
But in a sandwich, I don't think you want something that rich, that salty. So I brought something a little lighter. It's about it's 19% milk fat. But brie in a sandwich with some ham on a baguette is awesome.
It's so creamy.
Yeah.
It's like spreadable.
Next is a big, bold blue cheese.
All right.
This is a little unorthodox in a sandwich, I think. So it's a big kind of saltier cheese. So sodium is as high as you can get in a blue cheese.
That is a strong cheese.
It's a stronger cheese, but with something like some mustard and some really lean roast beef, it would go really, really nicely.
Very, very salty though.
You got the holes in there.
This is the cheese you always see in your sandwiches.
That's it. This is a Swiss cheese. In terms of milk fat, it's kind of right in the middle. In terms of sodium, it's kind of right in the middle too. I think that's kind of why you see Swiss as a very popular sandwich cheese. It's sliced as well. It's got a great, nice texture, really kind of buttery flavor, and very versatile with a lot of different sandwiches. Turkey, ham, it's great. Next is a Danish style cheese, is the Havarti.
This is actually usually my cheese of choice.
Is
on
this your
sandwich.
go-to
yes,
cheese?
This is the
Okay,
one I would
fantastic.
use. I know this taste.
So you know this.
Comfort.
Very, that's great. It is a little richer, it is a little fattier, but like I said, it's milk fat. It's
I think you
good
need
kind
that
of
on a
fat.
sandwich too.
I think
it
so
really
too.
stands out.
Next, I think is my favorite,
Okay.
at least for today.
Well, you're the master, so we'll see.
So this is, as the Dutch say, Gouda.
Gouda.
Gouda. So this is a mild Gouda. It has very little lactic acid in it, so it's lactose free.
Okay.
For people who can't digest a lot of dairy, have a Gouda.
Yeah, and it's good.
Very versatile, slices very well, not too salty, so the sodium's kind of quite low. Milk fat is kind of right in between, similar as the Swiss. but a great, great go-to cheese in my opinion. Last but not least was just one of my favorites, and I kind of wanted to bring it. Quebec goat's milk cheese.
Okay.
So really, really creamy.
Okay, see, I would never normally put goat cheese on a sandwich.
For a vegetarian sandwich with some grilled peppers, some grilled zucchini, some vegetables, goat cheese is awesome. It's almost a little sour and a little acidic. So there's a lot kind of happening there, but it's very, very flavorful.
All right, well listen, if you haven't learned enough about cheese, well, I don't know how else to help you. This was another episode of The Perfect Bite. I want to thank Ephraim for being here. I'm Andrea Jenna. Definitely check out our blog for more nutritional information.